Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. My name is Roger Bissessar. I'd like to welcome you to our program, Our Islam, Peace, Not Hostility. This is a program brought to you by the Ahmadiyya Anjuman Nishat Islam Incorporated of Trinidad and Tobago, an organization promoting a peaceful Islam, a tolerant Islam, an intelligent Islam. An organization dedicated to promoting the pristine Islam as taught by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace. I have the privilege of delivering the message today. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. I bear witness, first of all, that nothing deserves to be worshipped but Allah. And I bear witness that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace, is his last and final messenger. I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We are very privileged to be in a beautiful country like Trinidad and Tobago, where we have religious harmony. We have diversity of races, diversity of culture, diversity of religion. And we have harmony with all of this. The festival of Diwali, there are many important lessons that resonate for all of us in all different races and religion. Particularly in the religion of Islam, I'd like to spend a little time today comparing some of the lessons we learn from Diwali and the similarity that we learn from the Holy Quran, the messages from the Quran, and the messages in the religion of Islam. One of the things all of us as children growing up, and Diwali, is at afternoon when our Hindu brothers and sisters, after puja, when we with them light diyas. And a diya is a small earthen vessel. It's filled with oil or wick, or now you have the wax diyas, and it's lit. And we light several diyas, in communities, in homes, in villages, throughout the country. You have diyas being lit. And one of the things for me, just reflecting upon it, a diya is a small source of light. But when you have several diyas, they guide us. It's like a path. It illuminates the darkness. It provides a path to take you from darkness into light, as it were. Many a times in our lives, we experience a period of darkness. And life is cyclic in nature. We have ups, we have downs. But during our dark times, during our difficult times, sometimes we can feel lost. We don't think we have guidance from family or friends, or we almost not sure how to make it. Whether it is the loss of a job, whether it's the loss of a home, whether it's a loss in a relationship, a breakup, a divorce, or loss of a loved one or so, whether it's the death of a loved one. Situations, high intensity situations, cause us, a period of stress, a period of anxiety sometimes, and we go through this period of darkness where we can't seem to find our way. As I was mentioning earlier with the diyas, several little diyas along the way illuminates the darkness, and they lead a path, as it were, out of the darkness. In our lives, when we go through a period of darkness, it is sometimes we experience different people, several people along our way who help illuminate our way, help get us out of the darkness that we're experiencing. So each individual, as it were, is like a diya. So for example, you may be going through some financial difficulty. You may have lost your job, months have passed, things are very difficult. And you have an aunt, uncle, a close friend, you have some bill to pay, or you have some situation, they help you out. Groceries may be running low at home, and family members, people close to you are aware what's happening. Someone comes and brings some groceries for you. Another time you're down, you may be out, and you're looking for this job, or you're trying to figure it out, and someone who you haven't seen for years, an old mentor, an old supervisor from another company, or someone you cross paths with, they give you advice, they give you guidance, they motivate you, they inspire you, and you're able to, as it were, do something a little differently that you didn't think about. So Just as on Diwali day, when we're lighting diyas, you might take one diya and you use it to light another diya. The light from one diya, it lights the other one, and that can also be a light for others. This analogy I draw upon because several little diyas, it equates to me to several people in our lives, particularly when we're in that part of darkness, helping us find our way out of the darkness. And touching a little bit on the story, the analogy that the scholars would tell us about Ram and Sita, the people in their homes lighting the oil lamps, several oil lamps lighting the way to help them find their way back home, as it were. At times in our lives we are like that. We are lost and we need several lights to help us find our way back home. This to me is a very powerful message of Diwali, that the whole concept of the several lights, several little lights, several people helping us in our times of darkness. Another important lesson is the importance of fasting. As in Islam, as in other religions, fasting is a very important component of religion. And fasting, I'm sure for Diwali, for our brothers and sisters, and in other faith systems, fasting teaches us discipline, restraint, self-control. A certain amount of, as it were, we are able to have a greater focus. We can discipline ourselves from things that we didn't think we were capable of before. And that is another critical lesson of it. For Diwali as well, it's a time of a lot of devotion, a lot of special puja and prayers for that 5-day festival. I know I will let the scholars deal with it, but the 5 days, that different prayers that are required. And in Islam, as it were, the build up to Eid, the build up to our festival. In Christianity, with Lent, and the fasting, the whole dimension of a festival. We have devotion, we have prayers, we have special prayers in terms of together in congregation, in our homes, with our family, and of course personal prayers that we have. We give thanks to our Creator. We give thanks to the Creator for the favors bestowed upon us, for what is good in our life. And we take check on what we've accomplished in the last year, and we look forward to the year ahead. Diwali also reminds us that we have a duty in the world to reflect on what is our responsibility, what is our duty. And there's a famous saying, work is worship. We reflect on where we are in our lives, and through our work, through our endeavors in the world, we either accumulate wealth or we have power, whatever it is. But we have a responsibility, having worked, having acquired, whether financially, if we have done well, whatever we have done, we have a responsibility to be a conduit through which blessings flow. So if we have been privileged and the Creator has blessed us with wealth, with good health, with resources, with the ability to help others, we have a responsibility to give back to society, give back to the community, help within the educational field, in the schools, in the community, if there are needy students who are deserving of a scholarship, or help students buy books, for example, or help give advice to young students who may not be sure of what their career is heading. Set up programs in the community, help, their sporting programs, their cultural programs, there are other different activities. But in some form or fashion, whether it's in our individual community, whether it's through the organization we belong to, whether it's at a national level, we have a responsibility, if we have been blessed with resources, to give back. And this comes into another dimension that is taught in religion, the concept of charity. So charity in terms of helping those who are needy, helping those who are less fortunate than us. In Islam, we are taught to put religion above the world. This does not mean that we must isolate ourselves from the world. Far from that. We have to immerse ourselves in the world because this is where, for some reason, our Creator has put us. We are put in a physical world, physical resources, physical challenges. And in this physical body, we exist, recognizing that even though we are here in a physical form, we are greatly more than that. We are infinitely higher. We possess within us a spark of divinity. And this spark of divinity, through our actions and our movements in this physical world, it provides us an opportunity to develop spiritually in what we do. So, to put religion above the world, to some extent means we must conquer the world. So whether we are a student or whether we're pursuing our studies, we must be the best student. We must do our studies with excellence. If whatever profession we belong to, we must be the best in that profession. Not just getting by, not just, surviving, as it were. We must excel in what we do. And we must have a responsibility in terms of having acquired knowledge to contribute to improve the systems that are there for something that is better for those to come. All of these responsibilities we have in the world. So duty is an important aspect of it that we learn with religion. There's also now the social component of Diwali. And like all the great festivals, we have that opportunity in a country like Trinidad and Tobago, for example. So for Eid, as Muslims, we would have a feast, as it were, and invite Muslim friends, non-Muslim friends to come to our home to share a meal. It's the same with Diwali. Our Hindu brothers and sisters invite us to their homes. We share a meal together. We share stories. We share laughter. We share experiences. We look out for each other and we look forward to what the year has to ahead of us, how we can plan, what we can do better. So it's a really time of peace, prosperity, love, and happiness. So in essence, there are several components of Diwali, the festival of Diwali, that are very similar to the festivals in Islam, the festivals in other great religions of the world. The lessons we learn, the psychology of it, the practices, it's important for us to recognize the similarities in all our great faith systems. Before I close the talk, I just want to touch on, there are several verses of the Holy Quran that deal with light. Let's deal with one today, right? And it's taken from chapter 24 of the Holy Quran, verse 35. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. A likeness of his light is as a pillar on which is a lamp. The lamp is in a glass. The glass is, as it were, a brightly shining star, lit from a blessed olive tree. Neither eastern nor western, the oil whereof gives light, though fire touch it not. Light upon light. Allah guides to his light whom he pleases. And Allah sets forth parables for men. And Allah is knower of all things. So this verse, chapter 24, verse 35 of the Holy Quran, and coincidentally it's taken from a chapter entitled The Light, starts by saying Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. And this means basically our Lord, our Master, our Creator is our source of light. So whereas earlier I started to talking about little lights, small lights and the small diyas which light our way, that mega light, as it were, that supreme light, that supreme energy source is our Creator, our Master. And this light, as it were, it says here, it can't be extinguished. The parable talks about the likeness of the light being in a lamp, and in the lamp is a glass, and in the glass is like a shining star. I think in essence, we're getting at the light is protected. It cannot be extinguished. So the message here to us is divine light. Even though whatever forces may attempt to touch divine light, it cannot extinguish divine light. Message is important to us so that because we are a multidimensional being, and I touched on our being physical, we have the light of the Creator within us. And that light cannot be extinguished. When we develop that light and harness that light, and that light, as it were, it starts small and we feed that light, we become, as it were, a a force to be reckoned with in the world, because we become, in Islam, as we refer to, the Khalifa of God, the vicegerent of God, the representative of God on the earth. We harness our spiritual dimension, and we are, as it were, there to make a difference in the world. The light from a blessed olive tree, neither eastern nor western, and the oil gives light, though fire touch it not. Again, the parable here, the reference to the olive tree is reference to the religion of Islam, the source of this spirituality coming from our faith system. So it goes here, light upon light. Allah guides his light whom he pleases. And Allah sets forth parables for men, and Allah is the knower of all things. So in essence, the Quran here touches on light. Touches on, first of all, our Creator being a supreme source of light. The second aspect of it, individually, we must be a reflection of that light. So we have a duty to color ourselves with the attributes of our Creator. So just as we look in the physical realm, we know the moon, it reflects the light from the sun, and it illuminates the darkness of the night. We have to borrow the light of the Creator, as it were, immerse ourselves in the light of the Creator. And this light, just like someone else may be experiencing darkness in their life, we are like a moon to them. So they may be going through some darkness in their life. We have to help them find their way, illuminate their path. So whereas we may have gone through some period of darkness, and there were little dears or people in our way who helped illuminate our path, help us to get out of our darkness. Once we establish ourselves, and once we get back on track, and once we get back on that path, we must serve as a deer for those that are coming up. Because as the cyclic nature of life goes on, there will be those who will be going through their own period of darkness. And as we get older, and then we acquire more experiences, we can be a mentor to someone else, we can be a guide to someone else, we can use our experiences to basically help someone deal with a situation, because we've been there and we've done that. So we know we may see a situation developing, and when someone comes to us, a good word of advice could help them with the challenges that they face. So just as when we were going through our period of darkness, we will have those, and those who helped us, we have to become that light for others who are coming up. So as I close the talk, there are a few points I wanted to close with. One, today we touched on Diwali, the Festival of Light, but its similarity in the religion of Islam, similarity with practices among Muslims, and a little bit on practice in other faith systems. We touched a little bit on the concept of the diya, that vessel, that earthen vessel, that small light, but several diyas creating a path, lighting the way. And that we will encounter people who are like diyas, who help us in our times of challenge. We touched on the fact that when we have overcome our challenges, we must serve as a diya for others that are coming up, helping them with their challenges and difficulty. We touched a little bit on our Creator being the supreme source, and us illuminating ourselves, immersing ourselves in the light of the Creator, so we can make a bit bigger and better contribution in the world. As I end the talk, I want to wish you for the next year and for the year ahead, as we prepare for the next Diwali, I wish you peace, I wish you prosperity, I wish you love, I wish you happiness. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم اللهم اخذل من خذل دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تجعلنا منهم All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him and seek His assistance and His protection, and believe in Him and trust in Him. We seek refuge in Allah against the evils of our minds and against the unsuccessfulness of our deeds. Whomsoever He guides, there is none to lead him astray, and whomsoever He finds in error, there is none to guide him. I bear witness that there is nothing deserving to be worshipped except Allah, the one true God. And I also bear witness that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace, is His servant and messenger. O Allah, help those who help the religion of Muhammad and count us among them. O Allah, disappoint those who try to disgrace the religion of Muhammad and do not make us of those. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. O Allah, exalt Muhammad and the true followers of Muhammad, as thou didst exalt Abraham and the true followers of Abraham. Surely thou art praised, magnified. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the true followers of Muhammad, as thou didst bless Abraham and the true followers of Abraham. Surely thou art praised, magnified. Inna Allaha yamru bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi wa ya'izzukum la'allakum tazakkurun. Ibadallah uzkurullah yazkurukum wa yastajib lakum wa lazikrullahi akbar. Surely Allah enjoins the doing of justice and the doing of good to others and giving to the kindred, and He forbids indecency and evil and rebellion. He admonishes that you may be mindful. O servants of Allah, remember Allah and He will raise you. Call on Him and He will answer you. Surely remembrance of Allah is greater than everything. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Aisiso suno ke pe Qur'an हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान ए अज़ीज़ो सुनो के बेकुरान हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान जिनको उस नूर की खबर ही नहीं उन पे उस यार की नज़र ही नहीं है ये फुरका का एक अजीब असर वो बनाता है आशिकी दिल पर ए अज़ीज़ो सुनो के बेकुरान हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान दिल में हर वक्त नूर बढ़ता है सीने को खूब साफ करता है उसके और साफ क्या करूँ मैं बयां वो तो देता है जाको और एक जान ए अज़ीज़ो सुनो के बेकुरान हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान वो तो चमका है नेरे अकबर उसे नकार हो सके क्यों कर बहरे हिकमत है वो कलाम तमाम, इश्क़ हक का पिला रहा है जाम। वो हमें दिल सीता तलक लाया, उसके पाने से यार को पाया। ए अज़ीज़ो सुनो के बेकुरां, हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान। ए अज़ीज़ो सुनो के बेकुरां, हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान, हक मिलता नहीं कभी इंसान। Translation. Listen, O my dear ones, without the Quran, a man can never find God. Those who are not aware of this light of the Quran cannot have their beloved set his eyes on them. A marvelous quality of the Quran is that it makes one a lover of the beloved God. It fills the heart all the time with light and cleanses the breast of all impurities. How can I describe the qualities of the Quran? It surely imparts a new life to life. It shines like a great sun. How can one deny its radiance? All its revelation is like the sea of wisdom. It constantly offers the cup of divine love to the seeker. The Quran has brought us right to the threshold of the sweetheart. We found our beloved when we found the Quran. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.